Now, you need to learn about search engine optimization, also known as SEO. It is very important for every bloggers to at least understand the basic of search engine optimization, how it works, and how to actually implement this on your blog. SEO is a long-term project. It's not a short-term project that can actually start giving you traffic instantly. Most situations, SEO is going to take you time, especially for a new blog, before your blog can start performing well on search engine. Before we go ahead to talk about the search algorithm, the keyword metrics and research, Google Trends, and how to actually put up content regarding SEO as a whole, you need to first of all understand what SEO means. Search engine optimization is simply the act, is the process of you trying to make your website to appear on the front page of a search result, a search engine result. A typical example of search engine is Google. As you can see right here, we have Google here. So if I should search for best credit card in United States, okay, best credit card in USA, you can see that the first three results here is actually sponsored. Sorry, the first four results is actually sponsored content. This means that this must be a very high CPC content. That's why people are willing to spend money, net wallets, finance, CRO, consult, credit karma. These are guys who are spending money to advertise on the top search engine result. And then the first organic result is Forbes itself. Okay, this is Forbes. They are the first websites to actually rank for this. Now, when we talk about SEO, what you should know is this: the two major things that really determine how far your website can go in terms of SEO. Two major things. The first one is domain authority, page authority. Domain authority and page authority works hand in hand. So we're going to bundle those two things up and call them what? Authority. Let me get a notepad to write. Okay. We're going to bundle those two things up and call them what? Authority. Now, the second thing that actually um, determines the second thing that actually determines your results so far, your SEO result, is relevancy. So the first thing we have is what? Authority. Okay. I've written authority right there. Let me number that. That is number one, authority. Number two, relevancy. So you need to understand that these are the two major things that determines relevancy. These are the two major things that determines how far you go. Okay. How far you go in terms of SEO. Authority in the sense of this. Now take a look at this. I search for what? Best credit card in USA. And this is a content that says best credit card of August 2023. Now, if you scroll down, you will definitely see a content that says best credit card in USA. Let me check. These are still sponsored content. So then let's check the second page, okay? You will understand better when we check the second page. So many people running adverts for this keyword. So many people running adverts for this keyword. A lot of people running adverts for this keyword. So many sponsored content out here. That is because this keyword is excessively competitive. All right. Now, this content here is ranking based on what we call authority. The domain authority of Forbes magazine, of Forbes website is very high. That is why it's easy for them to rank number one on this content. And all these other websites are kind of trying to follow. Now, these are the ones that knows that they do not have that level of authority are running paid advertisement. This sponsored means they are paying money to appear on this position in the search result. Okay. So now, if your blog is new, as a new blogger, if your blog is new and you do not have the level of authority that Forbes magazine have, by the way, I'm going to break down what I mean by authority for you. That is when we get into keyword metrics. But if your blog is new and you do not have the level of authority, then there is no need for you to write on this type of keyword because you'll definitely not rank. Two things determines if you're going to rank on the first page. That is your authority and relevancy. So if you write a content that is very relevant to this search term, but your authority is very poor, you will end up being on either the 8th page here or the 7th page here, okay? Because of that keyword is very competitive, and a lot of people are even paying money to run adverts for that keyword. Now, the second thing we talk about is relevancy. What does relevancy means? Let me break this down. Whenever we talk about relevancy, we are trying to talk about how relevant is your article. This article here, is it relevant to this search term? Let me try to explain this. Okay. I can search for something like how to write a resume for a medical job. Now that sounds like a very narrow, very specific search term. How to write a resume for a medical. Now, a lot of people would write for a job application for a job like that. I'm going to be very specific by saying for a medical job. Okay. Wow. Now, as you can see, how to write a medical resume, a medical resume. Okay. For those of you that pronounce it that way, medical resume examples and template. Medical resume, medical resume. So now I've actually searched for how to write a resume for a medical job, and it appears as though nobody is actually very specific. A lot of people have written content around that, but then being very relevant to this search term is what I cannot tell. So what I'm going to do is to use the all entitled phrase. I'm going to put the all entitled phrase here to try to check if there is anybody that has used this exact entitle. How to write the perfect resume for a job in the medical field. I think that's what should be there for a job in the medical field. How to write a resume for a receptionist job. How to write a resume for a medical sales job. Now you can see that not many people have written this exact. If you check all entitled, it's only 4 results. That means that a lot of people have not actually been this specific. So if I now even remove medical to say something like dentist, okay, the level of specificity there is higher. So let's scroll down to check 5 dentist resume examples. You can see that no one has actually given this exact topic. So if you go ahead to write on this keyword, how to write a resume for a dentist job, that should be your title. That should be included in your URL. That should be included in the first paragraph of your content. And then it should appear on your content occasionally. If you can get that done, then you will end up having the most relevant content on this keyword. And I'm telling you that even if your blog is a brand new blog, you have a chance of appearing, of your blog appearing on the first page of Google whenever someone search for this specific keyword. That is what you should note. Okay, so it is a game of what? Authority and relevancy. There are times when no matter how relevant the content is, there is a more authoritative site ranking for a content that is similar to that, not as relevant as, but the authority can overwhelm your relevancy. There is also a situations where you can use very specific and niche down content to outrank authority. So the advice now is for those of you that are actually starting out with a very new blog, your blog does not have that authority metrics, then what you need to do is to focus more on relevancy. Okay, niche down. You need to have a niche and write as many content on that niche as possible. And it should be very relevant topics. That is the actual update you need to know. That's what you need to know how to go about SEO if you are just starting out. With time, you'll start going into building backlinks, building the required authority, uh, guest posting, and all of those things. Okay. Now, since you understand the search algorithm, okay, we're going to talk about the keyword metrics and the rest right away. The search algorithm. Now, to summarize the search algorithm, you need to understand that Google search ranking depends on a varieties of factors, a lot and a lot and a lot of factors. And the two things I've given you are actually the two things that you need to focus on. Okay, there are other things that matters like your website loading speed, user experience, user interface, a whole lot of other things there. Having a secured SSL protocol on your site, as well as your structured data and all of those things. But the two things I've given you are the two major things that really, really matters. The next thing we want to talk about is keyword metrics. To understand keyword metrics, we're going to be using an SEO tool called Enroll. This is Enroll right here. Now, bear it in mind that there are many different SEO tools out there. You can use a Ahrefs, Google Keyword Planner, Huber Suggest, or Enroll. But on my own side, from my own experience, I always prefer to use Enroll. This is because Enroll is actually a lot easier to use. Okay, it's a lot easier to use and is easier to understand. It also gives the closest possible accurate result. Okay, so what we need to do here, first thing we should do is to check for to search the domain forbes.com. Now, when we search for the domain forbes.com, I think you will get to understand why it was easy for Forbes to rank for that keyword, while other websites were trying to spend money just to be at the top for that particular keyword that we search for. Okay, so let's look at the result that we have here. This is telling you that Forbes has an authority score of 100. That is the highest. Authority score always range from 0 to 100. And for Forbes to have authority score of 100, it means it cannot get better than this. Forbes get at least 94 million traffic to his website every month. Okay, Forbes has paid traffic of 152,000. That's how much paid traffic they have from advertisement, and 364 million backlinks. Now, this type of metric you are seeing here, what this metric should tell you is that no matter what you do, it is a terrible idea to make an attempt to compete with websites like Forbes in terms of organic traffic. So let's assume that you were in the credit card niche, like what we search for the first time, credit card. If you are in the credit card niche, you have no reason to even attempt to write for that keyword because you will not rank for it except you have a similar authority score like this or something close, or you are able to niche it down to a level that the no one has actually written that same content. Like you find a keyword that no one has ever written on it, but as long as that keyword appears on Forbes website, then it becomes very difficult for you to outrank them. Why? Because they have the authority. This is big brands. They have the authority, they have the trust flow from Google. They have the reputation. With 364 million backlinks, it means that Google trusts them. So folks can actually publish whatever they want to publish, and Google is going to rank that because they feel that Google feels like Forbes can actually be trusted, right? So that's what you need to know. Now, when we talk about keyword metrics, these are things you need to know about keyword metrics. Let's get to the keyword overview. That way you get to understand what keyword is and what keyword metrics is. So I'm going to use the keyword how to write a resume. Okay, I'm going to use the keyword how to write a resume. Now, by the way, that is the key phrase. With this one, we should be able to understand everything about keyword metrics. So as you can see, these are things you need to know about a keyword. The first thing you need to know is that every keyword has what we call search volume. Search volume is the amount of people who are searching for that keyword in a specific region. For example, now United States, US here, 27,000 people search for how to write a resume every month in the United States. In India, the great country of India, there are about 12,000 people that search for this, okay, every month. And in Australia, we have 4,400 people. In Canada, 2.9 thousand people. In Jamaica, we have 2.9 thousand. In Philippines, we have 2.9 thousand. So this is the search volume for this keyword. The next thing you want to know is the keyword difficulty. Keyword difficulty is a metric between 0 and 100 on how difficult it is to rank for any specific keyword. The higher the keyword difficulty, the more difficult it is to rank for that keyword. So if you have a keyword difficulty of 0, that is the keyword you should write on. Write on that keyword because it is easy to rank for it. You can easily start ranking and pull traffic with those type of keyword. A keyword difficulty of 5, 10 is still easy. But once it gets to the point where you have 87, like what we have right here, that is when you know that the keyword can be very hard to rank for. Okay. We also have what we call keyword intent. Now, the intent here, we have informational. How to write a resume, it is an informational keyword. Alternative to these, other ones we also have include informational keyword, transactional keyword, commercial keyword. You can also have the CPC. CPC is the cost per click, how much it costs on average to advertise on Google search engine targeting this specific keyword, which is about $1.80. This means that for you to advertise on Google on this search engine and appear on this top page right here, you are going to spend at least $1.80 for every single click. Okay, right. Now we have keyword variations and we have questions. Now, what you need to do is to click on the keyword variations and let's take a better look at this. All right, so I've clicked on the keyword variations. Let's wait for it to load. There are still some few things we can learn from there. Okay, so now when it comes to this is intent, like I said, okay. Intent has informational, commercial, transactional, like I said. The navigational is similar to brand. That is what I spoke about. It's very similar to brandable keyword. For example, there are some people that will go to Google instead of them to go to Google and search for anything being specific. They go and search for Reddit. Some people go to Google just to search for Quora. Quora is the website. Now that means that they are looking for that information on Quora website. So no matter what you try to do, if someone those type of keyword now, if you are not writing on Quora as a website, there is no need trying to target those keywords because it's only Quora as a website that can actually perform good because it is a navigational. The person searching, the user who is searching for that keyword knows exactly what website they intend to visit. So there's no need targeting navigational keyword except you are trying to build a brand. You don't target a navigational keyword for someone else's brand. Okay. Now, because it's going to be very hard to rank for it and nearly impossible. Okay. So now I've explained all the metrics you need to know. Okay. I've explained most of the metrics here: the intent, the volume, the keyword difficulty, and what the CPC is. Now, this is competitive density. It's simply a measurement between running paid adverts for that keyword and trying to rank for it with organic traffic. And the result is simply how much Google result is available for that keyword. And the last updated here, it shows you when was this data you are seeing right here, last updated. And do not forget that you can always change the database because all this keyword here, this keyword metrics here is only for the United States. If you want to check for any other country, you can always change this. All right, so the next thing we want to talk about is how to actually do keyword research properly. Now, I'm going to show you how to do keyword research properly now, still using SEO, these tools right here. Once you've gotten to this point and you want to do a proper keyword research, okay, I'm using the trial version of SEM Roach. Actually, the premium version of this tool costs quite a fortune to buy. I think it costs a little close to $100 to use every month. But then there are alternatives that you can actually do. There are ways you can get the tools at a cheaper price below $10 or so. Okay. Now, to do keyword research the proper way, what you really need to do is to find a keyword that have a low difficulty, a good search intent, and a reasonable search volume. How can you get that done? Let me break this down. I'm going to give you a very simple method right now. There are different methods to go about keyword research, and I think we do have a course that explains that very well, all the methods to go about. But I'm going to give you, okay, let me give you two methods. I wanted to give you one method, but let me give you two methods that you can use. The first method you can go about is by using a short phrases, like short word, like how. If I search for how, you do understand that how can actually fit in a variety of ways. This word here, how. Now I'm kind of assuming that you are trying to rank for generic keyword. So if I search for how, the first thing I'm going to do is to reduce the to bring down the keyword difficulty. I'm going to click here to sort. I'm going to sort this to find the lowest keyword difficulty. Okay. Now these are some of the highest. I'm trying to find the lowest. I need keyword difficulty below 10. I need something below 10. That is what I need. Wow. As you can see, now these are keywords that have difficulties below 10. As I said, I'm using um the free tool, so I'm actually limited to the amount of keyword I can get. But all this keyword you see right here is actually very easy to rank for. If anyone decides to write for any of this, you will definitely be at the very top page of Google. Now, the next thing you want to do is to insert the volume here. I normally like going for keywords that have at least 100 search volume. I don't know if that will be available on the free version of this. Okay. As you can see, I have 100 search volume. Now, the next thing you want to do is to include your niche. Okay, include a word that kind of has to do with your niche. So I'm going to come over here and say include keyword. Now, on that include keyword, what is your niche about? Um, let's think of a niche. Scholarship. Apply. Okay. I'm going to use the word scholarship now. How do you spell scholarship? Okay. So there we go. So I've included scholarship. That's one. You know that you can include as many as you want. You can include as many as you does what as you want. So now this is a keyword I can actually write for. How much is Alex early scholarship? All I need to do is to find this and then write for it, and you will definitely rank. Once you've sorted your keyword by doing this, you will definitely get very good keyword in your niche to rank for. Keywords that you can actually write. Now, keep it in mind that I'm using the free version of this, so I'm very limited to the amount of keyword I can get. Now, if you actually get the premium version of this tool, which by the way I said there is a way to get this below $10, and that is by doing a group buy, getting a group buy service. Okay, then you will definitely get as much keywords as possible just by doing this. This is how you go about doing keyword research. Okay, now I also said that there is a second method to go about this, and the second method is simply to do alphabetical search if you want to be more specific. So instead of saying how, I'm just going to use any of the vowels letter between A, E, I, any of the vowels. So I'm going to choose E as a vowel to search for. So even though I'm still doing the same, I'm just going to use E as a vowel. I think A should have been a better vowel to use. So these are keywords with even lower difficulty to make attempts to rank for. But I think I should have tried A. A is a more generic vowel than E. Okay. And then the reason why you need to use a vowel is because a vowel must always appear on every on every sentence. Once you've done that, you can see that there are even better keywords here. uh, got a spine scholarship. Which statement best explains the scholarship? This seems more like a question. So single parent household scholarship for a bright future. These are keywords that you can actually. Some of these keywords. Now let me break something further down. Some of these keywords here are search phrases. This means that they are not independent. For example, got a spine scholarship. Now this is a search term. So what you need to do is to find the full context of this. The same thing with this, a one auto transport scholarship. The search term can be how to apply for a one auto transport scholarship. What is a one auto transport? So it's a search term. You need to find the full sentence. Try to come up with the full sentence that actually includes the search term. Okay, there are other ways, so many ways to use these tools to get a lot and a lot and a lot of keyword. Which, by the way, I said there is a course on our website that actually explains this. So if you want to get that, simply get the SEO course, and you should be able to have access to that program. Okay, now that being said, the next thing we're going to talk about is Google Trend. Google Trend is one of the very strong tool, very important and very powerful tool to use whenever it comes to search engine optimization. The reason why Google Trend is important is because that is how you identify keywords that are currently trending. Okay, so what you want to do is to go to Google Trend, take a look at what is trending currently. Those are the things that will give you traffic faster than any other thing. Okay, you can check the trending now. Come over to Google Trend. You can check the trending now. You can see what is trending now in Nigeria. You can always change this location now. Check whatever is trending in Canada. Okay, this is Chile. So you can see that different things are trending in different parts of the world. People are searching for those. Alternatively, you can also be niche specific. Check what is trending in your niche. So I can come over to this category and look for what is trending in business. In the last 24 hours, these are the content that are trending in business. Writing on this content is actually going to be very useful and help you to rank. If you have any questions about any of these things, you can simply ask questions on the comment section on the YouTube channel. So these are the things that you need to know about search engine optimization.